Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shir David Baruch Hashem. What a beautiful day here in Eretz HaKodesh. How lucky are we? It was amazing. It was amazing, yeah. Last night it was very nice. I was with my friend. This is a fellow named Joey Newcomb. You know Joey Newcomb? Yeah, Joey Newcomb from Thank You, Hashem, and all of that. Yeah, so he's our friend. But he works in the same yeshiva as I work with Teres Shimon, Rabbi Groner. He's a Rebbe over there. We know each other for many, many, many years. So last night he was over by my son's house at a barbecue. It was very, very nice. We reviewed lesson 24 and explained to him why this is so important. And it was mamash great. It was unbelievable. Baruch Hashem. He's good. He's a great guy. Baruch Hashem. All right. Anyway, so we're learning halacha vav in Hilchos Haidah and Likutey Halachos, and today we're up to letter Chav Dalet 24, and again this is based on lesson 24 in Likutey Maran, like we studied, and it's such an important thing to understand. We're in the 3 weeks, and to understand that we can really lift the Shekhinah up. The whole point of the 3 weeks is the golas. We don't. Shalom. Would it be possible? Maybe we can. Yeah, I mean, just the noise. Doesn't bother you?
Yeah, no, they're excited about the shear.
They're
excited about the shear.
Yeah, in the chairs. Yeah. No, it's just a noise. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's my thing. It's just distracting. Okay. So today, let's begin with this beautiful idea, and we're learning these different ideas of how you lift the Shekhinah up from the Golus. And any time a Jew does a mitzvah with simcha, it causes such great joy to the Shekhinah. It causes such great joy to Hashem. It's unbelievable, just by doing a mitzvah with simcha. Okay, here we go. V'zeh, vayifka b'mokim. So Yaakov Avinu, we're going to talk about Yaakov Avinu, and he came upon this place. Vayivka b'mokim. He came upon this place. Now Yaakov Avinu, remember, he was learning for many years. He escaped from Esav after he took the brachas from Esav, right? So he escaped, and then he stayed and learned. And then he left. He left Yeshiva Shem Vev. He left, and he was traveling to Choron. So as he left, Vayivka b'mokim, he came upon the place. What was that place? He came upon the Har Habayis. He came upon Har Habayis. B'chinas pegias v'hakos, haradifa b'hama'akev. He came upon the place. We said that that's the place, the Beis Hamikdash, right? That's the place where the Mishnah explains in Ken that there are 10 levels of Kedusha in Eretz Yisrael. The 9th level is in the Kodesh, right? The 10th level is the Kodesh Kodashim, right? So he had this experience of the 9 and the 10. You understand? Yaakov Avinu came upon Yivka b'mokim. He came upon the place. So he had such a simcha, and it pushed him back. He experienced this whole thing that we're learning about. Watch how he explains it. Bechinas keser shenikra mokim. Keter, when we say mokom, is talking about keter. Aye mikoim kivodo. Makom. Anytime you say mokom, we're referring to keter. Kemay shemavay b'Torah now in Ois Vo Zion that we learned in lesson 24. Allah pasuk Baruch Kavod Hashem Imkom Mo. That's a reference, and that was said by the Navi Yecheskel in chapter 3, verse 12. And that was said, and that is taught by Rabbi Nachman, Baruch Kavod Hashem Imkomo. That's a remiss to the Midah of Keser. Okay, you got it? So then we see makom. So here, vayivka b'makom. How do we learn this? Because it says makom. Makom is keter. So Yaakov Avinu came to this place of keter. Yes, Zach, you got this? You understand? Okay. Because that's the source of all the Mekaymas of the world, like we explained. In other words, the Makom Hamikdash is where the Even Shasiyah is, the founding rock. And everything came from that founding rock. Everything evolved from that rock. So that's why that includes Kol HaMekayma Sheboilam, all the Mekaymas of the world, because everything came from it. Shenimchechu v'nishavu al yedei kama tzimtzumim shenivru al yedei zeh. There were many, many different constrictions. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made many different constrictions in order to allow the creation to happen. Again, he was always constricting his life. So because Hashem wanted not to reveal himself too much in this world. You can find him in this world, but he had to hide himself. So that way we would always have Bechira, right? Remember that? If Hashem was too prevalent in the world and too pronounced, you would see Hashem, so then there would be no Bechira, there would be no free choice. You would just know it's Hashem. Now, today, we have people that can make the mistake. We see a lot of people make mistakes, right? See people, a lot of make mistakes, and they don't recognize Hashem. וזה בחינס מה שמבואי בליקוטי תניונה סימן פי גימל שתכלס הידיעה דלוי נדע. And that's what Rabbi Nassan's bringing down, lesson 83 in the second book of Likutey Moran, and the Rebbe brings that over there, shetachlis hayadiya diloi neda. The main thing a person has to go through life knowing, I don't know. I trust in you, Hashem. I don't know. We can't understand anything that goes on, all the things that happen. We don't know. But I know one thing, I can trust in Hashem. And Hashem knows what's going on. Hashem knows what's going on. The same way look, take a baby and the mother, right? Take a little baby and the mother. So there's things going on in the baby's life, but the baby's fine as long as the mother's there, right? An example, when you have a baby and a mother. Right. So whenever the baby's with the mother, the baby feels comfort, right? If the mother leaves, the baby starts to cry. That's us. When we feel the Rabbeinu Sheleimah, when we feel the presence of Hashem, we feel consoled. When we leave Hashem, then we start to cry. It's the same thing. We cry in a different way than a baby, but it's the same idea. Yeah. That's the place, his place in the world. Again, remember, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mekoymai Shel Olam V'Loyat Ha'Olam Mekomo. In other words, Hashem is the world, and the world is not his place. He is the world. So everything in the world is really Hashem, but it's through tzimtzum. So you can't see it. He constricts himself. But really, if you can see through the constriction, you see Hashem. He's here. You just have to reveal Hashem. Hashem designed the game of hide, go, seek. It was his game. This is the game, right? You know, it's a great game, right? You know, whenever you find the guy is, it's so happy, the guy's so happy, right? Everyone's very happy, right? That's this. Find Hashem, he's happy, you're happy. Right. Yeah. No, it's great, no? Okay. Vayolin sham kivo hashemesh. And then we go on to say like this. Vayolin sham kivo hashemesh. Bias hashemesh ze bechinas estalkos umenias haor sheba yedei bechinas hama'akev. So he came to this place. He was tired, right? Vayolin sham, right? He went to lie down, right? He went to lie down, right? Hello? Yeah. We went to lie down there. Yeah, okay. And why? Because the sun was setting. The sun was setting. Hashem is bechinas estalkos. The idea of the sun setting is the estalkos and menias and all the obstacles are sheba yedei bechinas hama'akev. Ki shemesh bechinas or aseichel roide lahasegar achama akev meinei oisei. The sun is the same idea. It's very bright, right? And the sun shines until it starts to set. That's the system, the same idea of you keep running, and then the keter pushes you back. That's why the sun has to set. And the sun's very bright right before it sets. Right? The sun's very, very bright right before it sets. Why is it so bright? Because it's about to leave. It's the most powerful. But then it crashes into the keter, and then it has to set. That's the same of us. We have the simcha, right? And then we rise up. We lift the Shechina up from the Golas, from the Klipos. And then we rise it up to the Malchus. And then the Malchus goes to the Netzach Yisod, right? The feet. And then it goes up higher and it goes to the Chesed Gevurah Tiferes, to the hands. Right? And it keeps going to the Chesed Chachma Bina Das. And the Chachma Bina Das is going quick and it rushes into the Keter, has the Betisha, that crash. It has that crash, creates those 9 Heicholin of holy chambers that are filled with Orei and Sof, the infinite light of Hashem. Okay? And that comes in us and infuses in us. And then when it does, we feel something, but we don't know what it is. Right? Therefore, he lied down. He didn't know, he feels something. He didn't know what it was. He just thought, okay, I'll lie down. This is the whole point of sleep. All day long, we serve Hashem with tefillah, we daven, Torah, we learn Torah, we study Torah. We do mitzvahs all day long, right? We're doing mitzvahs. I mean, think about it. You're wearing your tzitzis all day long. You're doing mitzvahs all day long. You're getting a mitzvah every moment you're wearing your tzitzis. It's amazing, right? You walk past the mezuzah, you give the mezuzah a kiss, you think of Hashem. Wow, that's amazing. You have another mitzvah. Anytime you think of Hashem, speak to Hashem, it's another mitzvah. All mitzvahs.
It's like living in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah. That's right. Yishuv Aretz. Right? The mitzvah of Yishuv Aretz is dwelling in the land. Amazing. And then every time you walk Dalet Hamas in the street, what you're accomplishing, we have no idea. We don't know. It's amazing. That's why we have to always be besimcha, because we're doing mitzvahs besimcha, and we can get so much light. So much light. We can get so much light from Hashem, the infinite light. That's how it goes, because it has that, it's going quick. The system is running up quickly, and it's rising up, and that's called the redifa. That's called the elevation. It's running, and then it has the v'ma'akev, and we said that the keter says hamten, wait, right? Hamtana.
They translate here restrainer. Is that keter is the restrainer?
The restrainer. It holds him back. Doesn't let you go fast.
So that's the keter he's talking.
Yeah, it restrains him from going further. Okay. It's not really restrainer. Okay, whatever. They whatever. Okay. Avamachmas hayegia shel hakois haradifa b'amakev. But because of this yigia, this toil that it's running, and this gear when it gets that crash, that hit from the radifa b'ma'akev. Heim muchrachim leistalik acha tefillah. They have to fall down after the tefillah. So you're so high. You're so high from the tefillah. You just, wow, you get tired. You felt so high. Rak nisha rishimu, but there's always the rishimu that stays. And we learned all about the rishimu, right? The rishimu is the imprint that remains. Good morning, sir. The rishimu is the imprint that stays. For example, we gave the example, if you take a cup and you fill the cup up with oil, right? And then you dump out the oil. There's still going to be that imprint on the cup, right? The imprint will stay on the cup, on the walls of the cup. That's the rishimu. You get filled with all the light, but then you have that yerida. You fall down. Because again, every time you're going to go up, you have to fall down to go up higher. So you fall down, but you remember, wow, I remember that light. And you have to always recall it. So even though you're going through a difficult situation right now, but think back, wait a second, I just experienced this amazing thing. Use that to be the springboard to lift you back up. You understand? Use that as the springboard, because there's going to be a yerida. You can't keep having an aliyah. You're always going to hit that, when you go up high, you're going to hit that keter, it's going to push you back. But it sends you back with light. But you get tired from that. But don't worry. Realize I'm only worn out because I'm so involved and I got so much. You understand? Avalacha kach leis erev mistalkin legamri. Bebechinas hakavonas Arizal, as the Arizal writes from Reb Chaim Vital and Pri Etz Chaim Shara Tefila, v'zeh bechinas vayolin sham kivo Hashemesh shero Yaakov sheyef she'ata lahasig hamoichin shleimus. Yaakov Avinu saw, I can't understand this. I can't understand my mind. This can only contain so much. I can't get the shleimus. In other words, my mind is so much, Yaakov Avinu, but it's not b'shleimus. It's not complete. It's not wholesome. There's a lot in there, but it's not. It just didn't make it yet. Ki adayin lo nishlam habeira meicholei etmuros, because he didn't finish this beira, this clarification. He didn't finish this clarification process in the Heichal HaTemuros, because Yaakov Avinu was about to go to Lavan, right? He was about to meet the headquarters of the Heichal HaTemuros, right? Living with Lavan. Could you imagine that? Living with Lavan. Living with Lavan. Unbelievable. Living with Lavan all those years. He was preparing himself for that. That was a tremendous Yerida. Could you imagine he's in the yeshiva for Shem Veva 40, he's learning about, he comes to the Har HaBayis, but he's preparing himself, because I know this is going to be difficult. Number one, leaving Eretz Yisrael to go to Chorim and Mesopotamia is very far away. Leaving Eretz Yisrael, that was a difficult thing. That's a Yerida. Right? That's an aliyah for sure. It's every time someone makes the aliyah, they make an aliyah. They're going up there. They're coming up. It's an aliyah. But when you leave, it's called the yerida. Right? So he is going to deal with the physical yerida, plus he's dealing with Lavan in that place. So, wow. He was entering the headquarters of Heichal HaTemuros. Sheyev shelahasig birchas hamoichin ki im al yedei there through the koyach ha'ma'akiv al came vayolin sham, and therefore he went to sleep. He said, I want to go to sleep. Why am I going to sleep? Because I want to be able to hold in all of this experience that I experienced. I want to be able to process it. I want to process that experience, and I want to keep it in, let it become part of me. So that way, when I go through this challenge and I have to meet Lavan, and I have to go through that experience, I'll have the fortification I need. It's amazing to understand really the backstory, what was going on with Yaakov Avinu when he comes to this place, and now he came to the place of the Ma'akiv. He was running, and then he got pushed back, and he got tired. He went to sleep because he wanted to experience everything. He wanted to take it in, because the next thing he knows, he had that kvitzas ha'oretz. He went straight the next day. He was ready by Lavan. Well, we think we travel fast with a plane. He went all the way from there probably in 3 minutes. That's the way the tzaddikim went. And today we travel fast with different means of transportation. But the tzaddikim had kvitzas haderech, kvitzas ha'aretz. Kvitzas ha'aretz is where the land actually folded up underneath them. He took one step and then he's there. Could you imagine that? Gam vayolin sham, and he went to sleep there. Merames al hagoliyos. He saw Yaakov Avinu saw the Goliath. He saw what we're all going to have to deal with. As Chazal teach us in Bereishis Rabbah, Ki misham kol hagoliyos sheboyim al yedei kilkulei hadoros she'eina mevarim kiroyim meicholei hatemuros. And the whole problem he saw, that we're all part of this place called the Heichal HaTamura, where we're in the world of exchanges. We're in the world of exchanges, where we are supposed to be the prince, like Rabbi Nachman teaches in his stories, right? Right? We are the prince, but really there's an imposter that's running everything today. That's the Heichal HaTamura, right? Because we don't believe, we don't understand who we really are. We don't believe it. We're not courageous enough to say who we really are, that we are the rightful prince. We don't have the courage to say that. But we will. Baharbe Mikalkalim Rahman Litzlan. And there are many, many, many that caused a lot of kilkul, a lot of damage. Ad shemachmas gam gedoyle tzadikim avos oilam einam yecholim lahasig kiritzonim kamuva. And then there are those big tzadikim, because of the things that are going on in the generations, it's damaging their connection. The things that are going on in the world is damaging the connection of the tzaddikim that are trying to connect, but there's just so much static. They can't connect because of the things going on. Oh, beautiful. Chazal tell us abolataya. Person says, Hashem, I want to be pure. Enough of my nonsense. I really want to be pure. Messiah, they assist him. He gets assistance. Isn't that nice? But they say to him, Hamte. Hey, wait. You can't take the Kedusha all in one shot. Hamte. Wait. You can't take it in too much too quickly. Right? That's why anytime about tshuva, they tell the about tshuva to take on a mitzvah, another mitzvah. Slowly, make sure you have that mitzvah, make sure you're good with it, then take on another one. You don't take on all the mitzvahs right away.
Is it nice to at least want to have that passion and desire? Wow, Hashem, I love you. I want it all. I want to come right up to the kisei.
Right, but you can't. But Yossi, you can't. Okay, so Yossi, let's take an athlete, right? A guy that never trained at all, and I am going to be in the Olympics. How's that going to work, Yossi? Would that work? I really want it. I want to win the gold medal. I really want it. It's not going to work.
But it's a fair goal to have.
Yes, it's a good goal for every Olympian, every sports, every guy. It had that same thing. I want this. That drove them to get better and better and better. And he went through all the obstacles. And believe me, every athlete has a lot of obstacles, right? Right? They all have a lot of obstacles. That's the mushal for the nimshal.
Yeah.
You understand? And when you want to serve Hashem, you can't do it too quick. It won't work. It won't work. They tell you Hamten. Wait. Slowly.
It's a fair request. It's a nice goal, but take your time. And eventually, if you play your cards right, you may get there.
Ups and downs. You keep going up and down, and you'll keep going up and up. Yes, you'll get there. I mean, let's take Rabbi Akiva. Let's take Rabbi Akiva as the perfect example. Okay, Rabbi Akiva was 40 years old. He was Rabbi Akiva ben Yosef. He was Rabbi Akiva. Yosef was a ger tzedek, so he was ben gerim, right? He was a ger. He was a convert, right? Rabbi Akiva for 40 years despised rabbis. He's despised them. Really, he had a hatred for rabbis. You know that, right? Yes, do you know this? Rabbi Akiva, the great Rabbi Akiva. For the first 40 years of his life.
He wasn't just like secular.
No. He had a hatred for rabbis. He was against them for 40 years. But then he came upon this rock, and he came upon this little drip. He came upon a rock and a drip, but the problem, the thing was, Rabbi Akiva was, he paid attention. He was watching things. He saw things. See, many of us would have walked by that rock and saw the little hole in the rock. It's a big deal. Okay, so But he stopped and think. He thought for a second, wait a second. There's a drip that's been dripping on this rock now since the beginning of time. And it's just one drop at a time. And this is a pretty big rock. And there's a hole in the rock. And he came to the conclusion, wait a second. The rabbi said that the Torah is water. He heard that. And I see here water can even make a hole in a rock. So that means the Torah, if it's water, can actually penetrate my flesh hard. Right? But he didn't become Rabbi Akiva right away. Right? He had to endure a lot of trouble, right? He had his dear father-in-law, Kalba ben Savua, right? His great, dear, very wealthy father-in-law. I mean, he made Elon Musk like a pauper. I'm not joking. I mean, Kalba ben Savua had more money than anyone could ever imagine. No, he had more money than anyone can imagine. He was called Kalba ben Savua because he was anyone that came to his house, he fed them so much they were like a satiated dog. That's his name. Anyone that came to his house, he fed everyone. Oh, but his daughter Razel says, I want to marry this guy Akiva. No. Did he have a lot of trouble, Yossi?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He had a lot of trouble, right? Right. He had a lot of trouble. Started all the way on the bottom, a ger, right? Started all the way on the bottom. He worked his way up. That's the example here, right?
Yaakov.
But he worked at it. It took a lot of time.
Yeah.
12 years he goes away. 12 years he goes away from his house.
Yeah.
Then he comes back after 12 years and he hears his wife talking to her friend and saying that, my husband went away, but even if he wanted to stay away for another 12 years, it'll be okay. So he left. Can you imagine? He didn't see. People have trouble leaving their wife for Rosh Hashanah to go to Rabbi Nachman. Right? He left for 12 years and then another 12 years. He didn't even stop in the house to say hello to her. He just left. No. But look what he accomplished. We have Torah today, Torah Shabbal Peh. We have today only because of Rabbi Akiva.
Right.
That's it. We have what we have today because of him. It's amazing.
Did you say he was a convert?
He was a convert, yes, sir. Yes.
Wow.
His parents were converts.
His parents, yes, okay. So he's Ben Gerim. They call him Ben Gerim.
Yeah,
Wow, what a mistake they must have thought. They do the Gerus, and they have a kid like Akiva, and for 40 years he's off the derech, and he's a neged rabbanim that converted the parents. Just saying, you see,
Yeah. No good deed goes unpunished. There you go. Okay, you like that? Yes, he likes that. What? He turned it around. He fixed it. Shenema al kol echad mi Yisrael haroitze l'tayr k'maisha mevaya b'Likutey Ran Siman Vav, lesson 6. We learned that with Rav Chaim. Remember we learned that lesson? Okay. V'chein nemar al tzaddik ha'oisik l'tayr es Yisrael. And it also works like that for the tzaddikim that are oisik l'tayr es Yisrael. They always have to tell the person, hey, Hampton, take it easy. Wait, don't do too much. Don't take on too much. I'm telling you, if you speak to anyone that it's in the kira business, any guy that takes on too much gets burnt out and he leaves. It won't work. Yossi, do you know anyone that's in the kira business?
Yeah.
You do. Okay, so if you have a chance later, call up one of your friends and ask them if this is true. Ask them. They'll tell you. They'll explain to you. It's impossible to take on everything at once. You can't. It won't work. Vayikach me'avnei hamokim vayotza me'rashosav. And he took from the stones of the place and he placed them under his head. Some pillow, right? Right? Okay. Shelokach ubeira me'avnei hamokim. He took from the stones of the place, bechinas beira oisyois v'nitzoitzois shein bechinas avnei kodesh. So we learned about the thing of the riboy batim, right? the ribe batim, you take the stones, and one stone makes two stones, and then until you get these exponential numbers. Remember, we learned that, right? Take one stone, two, so you get two, three stones, and then it becomes 9 and 12, and then 1,000 and two, and it keeps going crazy. Okay. Shenaflu leicholei atamur shehem avnei negev bechinas tishtapechna avnei kodesh. Words in Eicha, right? Tishtapechna avnei kodesh. It's amazing. And what is that? That they poured blood on to the holy stones. That's what the pshat is on those words. V'atzadik mevoyer avonim toivos sheim avnei kodesh sheim oises haTorah meicholei atemuros. And the tzaddikim take the stones, which is every neshama, out from the heichal haTemura between the klipos, and that's what they're working on. Vayosam marashosav shemekashram l'soich haroish v'aseichel. He connects them, he binds them with his seichel, with the tzaddik seichel. You understand? That's what the tzaddikim do. If we want to, we learned that all the tzaddikim want to connect to every Jew and want to help every Jew. It's only if you trust in the tzaddik and you believe in the tzaddik and that he can help you, then he can help you. If you have no connection to the tzaddik, then he has no right to help you. If you believe in the tzaddik, so then he can help you. So like Yaakov Avinu took from the stones of the place. What's he saying? He took from the souls of the different souls that were stuck in between the place, which are called the avonim, right? And then he lifted them up, put them under his head, and that's what the tzaddikim can do for everyone that wants to connect to the tzaddik. Vayishka b'mokei mahu sheyoshan mitoich divrei haTorah. He went to sleep between the words of Torah. What does that mean? If a person sees that he's trying and he's having a lot of obstacles, he has a lot of menios, he's not getting anywhere. Tzarich lekatche machshavtei divrei Torah v'haitzi machshavtei meirayonim royim lekatche machshavtei the divrei Torah ad sheyosha mitoich divrei Torah. So what do? Here's a beautiful idea. Person just going through whatever he's going through, and he has all his different obstacles going on. The idea is take out whatever book you like. Take out a Shulchan Aruch, take out a Mishnayos, take out your Gemara, take out the Chumash, whatever it is, and just keep reading and reading and reading. Fill your mind with the thing until you get so tired you go to sleep. And then you're thinking of the words of Torah in your mind. You go to sleep with the words of Torah. Isn't that a beautiful idea? Right? And that's the best way to get out of the Heichal HaTemuros. Torah, we said Torah has the power to cleanse. Right? Torah is like that powerful detergent. Right? The person has a lot of trouble going on in his life. He only has that trouble because he did whatever he did wrong. If you study the Torah, he puts that into his body, and it goes into his mind, and it goes through his whole body. It cleanses him. He wakes up a clean and new person. This is the idea of doing tshuva from acts of immorality. The person was involved in immoral things. So this is a good idea to do. Study Torah so much that you fill your mind with the Torah, that you get so burnt, you get so tired from studying, you just fall asleep. And then you fall asleep with the words of Torah in your mind.
I do that at night when I can't fall asleep.
Well, you have a lot to clean up.
I put on a shear. That always puts me right to sleep usually.
Okay? No good. But then when you're sleeping, you're thinking, automatically your mind is thinking about the Torah.
Yeah, whatever we're listening to. Yeah.
That's why he's always smiling. You see that?
And he wakes up. That's true. Yeah. Can you imagine his name's Simcha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Shuika tikkun pegama bris, shehu pegama. What's that?
I'm saying, what if people who don't have Torah, what do they do?
They're spending a lot of time at the psychiatrist, psychologist, and they're hanging out in the pharmacy trying to get more drugs from the pharmacy, or they go to the in the streets. They're trying to find as much as they can, right? That's what it is. Yes, is that true? Is it? People today are stuck on all kind of stuff, right? Is it true, Zach? Shekol tikunai ayedei zeh daika k'may shemuva maimer Rabbeinu Zechem Livracha b'dahainu da'al in Likutey Moran lesson 27 b'Torah tzitza ayin. So again, these ideas of Nassan is bringing a lot of different sources, and keeps qualifying his statements with different sources from Maimrei Chazal and from Likutey Moran. Okay, v'zeu vayishka b'mokim hahu specifically mokum. We said mokum is what? Keter. Mokum is keter. Taigeshu mokim shepoga boy. That's the place that he happened upon. Shu bechinas hama'ake. That's the ma'ake that's pushing it back, because makom is keter. He came to the makom hamigdash. He came to the harabayis. He came to the kodesh hakadoshim. That's the ma'ake. We said the kodesh is the nine chambers that fill the person with the aura inside. But past the curtain, that's the keter, and that's the ma'ake pushes the person back. Kidaika l'sham kisha machshavtei b'kesha amotz. Until over there, he was able to bind his mind with a very powerful bind until he went to sleep. The same way we said, if you're dealing with a lot of different problems, so study Torah and let it fall asleep. That's what Yaakov Avinu did, right? That's where we're getting the idea from. Yaakov Avinu he had so many things on his mind. Could you imagine what he had on his mind? My brother Esther is trying to kill me. So I don't know, maybe I'm going to go to sleep, maybe he's going to come and kill me now. I don't know. Before he felt that he was sitting and learning Torah. The Torah is Megan, the Torah protects a person. So he was learning Torah in shame behavior. It was okay. Now he's vulnerable. So he had that worry. Then he's thinking about, now tomorrow I'm going to have to be by Lavan. Could you imagine all the things going on in his mind? How many emotions he had going on in his mind? I can't even imagine. Right?
Yeah.
Right, it's been so many years. I wasn't by my father. I didn't go back. Right, all these things he's thinking about. It's a lot of stuff going on in his mind. So what does he do? He starts learning, and he just falls asleep. And that's what we all have to do according to each one of our aspects, wherever we are. Because even though we see that our mind is being pushed back and we can't understand, and that's happened sometimes. A person's trying to learn something and he's just trying and he can't get it. You ever happen like that? You're trying to learn something and you just don't understand it. The mind is being ma'akev. Right? We ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu also give me the ideas and understanding of Torah. We ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But if the person is being ma'akev, who tzarich la'aseh sheloy levroyach mimachshavos rois ulakashe machshavte lebechinas mekoymei shalaylam. Connect your thoughts to Hashem mekoymei shalaylam. Shu bechinas makoym hahu shepaga b'Yaakov. That's the idea of the place that Yaakov Avinu happened upon. Va'afal pi she'ena yachol adayin la'aseh ulavim misham klal. Even though it's so lofty, you don't understand anything at that point. You don't understand. Afal pi chein tiya machshavtei kishur shama yedei avnei hamokim sheim bechinas oisius haTorah ad sheyishan mitoich divrei Torah v'zeh bechinas vayishkav b'mokim ahu. He lied down in that place. Vayachaloim v'hinei sula mutzav artzav v'roishay megia Sheleimah. And he had a dream. Interesting. And Torah tells us to dream. That's how we know, right? Otherwise we wouldn't know, right? He had a dream. Again, he had all these emotions, all these things going on in his life, right? And he started to learn Torah so much. He started to review all the things he learned in Shem Ve'eva, all the years that he learned. He started reviewing it, and he filled his mind with the Torah until he got so tired He took some of the stones, he put it around his head, he went to sleep. Right? Because he filled his mind with the Torah, right? Now, he went to sleep that way, and at that time he has a dream. And this is the dream that he has. That there's a ladder. He sees a ladder. Mutzav Arza. He sees this ladder is planted into the ground. V'roisha megia Sheleimah. But the head, the top of the ladder goes all the way to heaven. Must have been some vision, right? You see a ladder down here in this world that's well footed into the ground, but it all goes all the way up to heaven. Shirah, he saw this in his sleep. That's our job in this world. Hashem puts us in this world, the Olam Hagashmi. We're in this world, the physical world. And Hashem puts us into this place with all the different exchanges and all the different things. And again, he wants us to play the game, hide, go seek, and find him in all the different things of this world. And make clarifications. And to come up to all different elevations, to elevate the person. Through to realize I'm down here, but I'm connected on high. See, the people forget that. People think that we're just down here. I have no connection with the next world. It's just this world, so I might as well just live it up down here because I have no connection with anything else. Right? But what are we learning? We always have a connection. That's why it's so important we say Shema Yisrael. Right? Shema Yisrael is reminding ourselves that we have the chelik on the Shema Yisrael that's up on high. Shema Yisrael, listen, hear, O Israel. What am I hearing, O Israel? I'm listening to myself. The Balatanya teaches, it's taught in the Zayah, that there's a chelik on the Shema that's called Yisrael. The higher level on the Shema is called Yisrael. The lower level on the Shema is called Yaakov. That's down here. So when you're saying Shema, you're saying Shema Yisrael. If you look at the translation, it says, hear, O Israel. Well, hear, O Israel, what? The guy's sitting in his living room. There's nobody there. The guy's in his basement. The guy's in his office. And he's saying, Shema Yisrael. There's no one there. Hear, O Israel. What is he saying? No, so he's listening, he's making a statement to himself. Shema Yisrael, listen to what Yisrael, the chelik of my neshama, that's up on high, that knows the truth. What's he saying? Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu. Hey, I'm telling you, remember this. Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, the God of kindness and mercy and love and all of that good stuff. Elokeinu, he's the God of judgment, punishment, the God of all the problems. He's the same guy. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, he's only one. That's what we're saying. So in other words, Yaakov Avinu is teaching us over here that the ladder is planted down in this world, but it's really up on high. And that's us. We're down here. Yeah, we're here. But we always have to connect up on high. You understand? We are connected on high. And you remind yourself that every time you say Shema. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. The statement doesn't make sense if you don't understand it. Doesn't make Yossi, how do you understand Shema? When you say Shema Yisrael?
I think of it as a dude also, and Hashem is one. And
no, I understand. But the statement you say Shema Yisrael.
Yeah, I'll hear listen, and no one's listening.
Yeah, who's listening?
Yeah, I am.
Oh no! Now we understand. Now I have to listen. But who should you listen? You should listen to what your neshama is telling you, not anyone else. Listen to what your neshama is. What?
But when I'm saying that, I imagine that I'm spreading out that all of Israel should hear that Hashem is one.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's nice. Okay, that's nice. But so if you went to a big stadium and you got all the Jews together, that would make sense. But again, if you're saying Shema Yisrael and you're by yourself, how does that work?
It works spiritually.
Oh,
It's kinda
okay.
like
Yeah,
my
yeah,
blessing,
it
my
does.
holy
It
blessing.
does. It does. But here I'm trying to giving you an example of how you could take it and understand that you're listening to what your own soul is telling you. It becomes
Absolutely. I
personal.
agree.
Let's make it personal. We're making this personal. Okay? They really, every neshama is saying to them what the truth is. Listen to what your soul, forget about what anyone else is saying. Listen to what your soul is telling you. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Shehem bechinas haprisa elyoina. That's the like we said, the curtains that are up on high, and between every world, the world of Yitzir, the world of Asiya to the world of Yitzira. There are divisions. There are separations from the world of Yitzira to the world of Bria. There are separations from the world of Bria to Atzilut. There are separations again. That's the priesthood. That's the same way in the Beis Hamikdash. We had the Kodesh, the Heichel. That was the 9, and then you had the Paroches, and on the other side was the 10. Right? Bechinas keter shederech sham kol hasagas hates heicholin. That's how you get the hasaga of the 10 different heicholin. Okay, it goes on for many more. It's very many more. So I think we're going to stop. We'll stop over here. V'zem rameis al sulam. We'll stop over here because we have a long thing to learn now in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. A new concept in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. David, can I use your pen for a minute? I'll just use it. Okay.
Now I don't feel so bad when I would fall asleep in your class.
You what?
I don't feel so bad now because when I would fall asleep in your class, I had so much Torah coming in.
Oh, that's good.
I had to
Okay.
fall asleep.
Very good. Okay. Here we go. We're going to learn. We have a new concept today that we're going to learn today in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. In Mishnayos, you have Mishnayos Mikvah, and then you have Machshirin. Okay, there's a Mishnayos called Machshirin. Okay, and if you look it up in Mishnah in chapter 6 in Machshirin, Mishnah 4, that's the words that we're going to read right now here in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. All right, and we're going to explain the concept, and it's another concept. So let's see if we can do that with Hatzlacha, with Siyata D'Shmai. Okay, so we're learning Hilchas Netilas Yadayim L'Suda. If you want to wash your hands for Suda, all the things that we learned. That's Mem, Simin Mem, and I think today we're up to Yud Ches, right? We're up to 18, right?
David, you had it?
17.
We're up to, no, we did that. Oh, 70. Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to do 17 and 18 together because it's okay. All right, let's go. We'll do 17. You ate something that you dipped into a liquid.
Okay.
Or the liquid came upon the food. And the food is still wet from the thing that you put onto it. A sauce, you put oil, you put whatever. We're going to learn about that. Even though you didn't touch the part that was wet.
Okay.
Right? There was, let's say you had a piece of lettuce, okay, piece of lettuce, and you put some dressing on one end of the lettuce, but the other end of the lettuce doesn't have any dressing on it. Right? You want to pick it up with your hand. Wash your hands first. Where do we see this? Where do we see this concept? At the Seder.
At the Seder.
At the Seder, we have a thing called rochza, right? And what do we do with rochza? We wash our hands, but we don't make a bracha.
No bracha, yeah.
Because what are you going to be doing? You're going to be taking the karpas and you're going to be dipping it into the salt water. But wait a minute, but I may be using a fork. So what? Why do I need it? I'm not touching it. I'm not coming in contact with it. So why do I have to do that? That's what we're going to learn. Don't wash, don't make an alatis on the same way by the Seder. You don't make the Netilas Yadayim. There are many that are makel on this and say that bisman hazeh we don't have to worry about these things, right? Aval kol yorei shemayim yesh le lahachmir alatzmai. But if someone's a yorei shemayim, he should be machmir himself. Which means if you're going to eat a salad with dressing on it, you should wash your hands with no bracha before you eat the salad. You don't have to. This is more of a minhag chasidus. This is more a minhag of people that want to be more connected to Hashem, because this takes back down some of the barriers. You don't have to do it. And what's the proof? By the Seder, where we're trying to connect ourselves to a little more Kedusha, so we take on an extra stringency that normally we wouldn't do. Right? Now let's go to Yud Ches, okay? Mashkim le'inyan zeh hema shiva. When we're talking about these different kinds of liquids that we're talking about, there are 7 types of liquids. And this is the Mishnah in Machshirim, Mishnah Vav, and Perik Vav, Mishnah Dalin. Okay, if you want to look it up, these are the words of the Mishnah. If you have, well, the Mishnah doesn't have chaymitz miyayin, he puts that in. Yayin, if you have wine. Let's say you made a salad dressing and you poured wine in it. Some people put wine in their salad. Or choymitz yayin, or wine vinegar. That people certainly do, right? Yeah. Right? Red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, right? All that stuff.
That's important. Any other vinegar is not considered a mashka.
No, yes, you're right. Yeah. 1 second. Now here, the next one. Choymitz miyayin. Devash, devoirim. If you have a bee honey, right? Bee honey, shemen zayis, olive oil, cholov, milk, bichlal zeh gam mei cholov. Also, if you have a byproduct of milk, like let's say whey. Whey is a byproduct of milk that they use to make cheese.
Yogurt.
Cheese and yogurt. They use whey to make yogurt, cheese, and different things. They use it, a byproduct. Tal, do, dam shel behema chaya v'oif. If you have bloods from animals or birds, again, you have to understand. Years ago, they used blood as refuahs. You can't have blood like we learned when we were learning the laws of meat, right? You have to make sure you soak your meat, you salt your meat, right? Because otherwise you don't eat the blood. But the same way, when it comes to refuah, if something's not kosher but you need it for the refuah, you're allowed to partake in it, right? Even if it's not kosher, but if it's for refuah, I'm not eating it because I want to enjoy. I need it because I'm not well. You understand? The person's not well, therefore he needs to eat the thing. So there was an idea that there was dam from blood from animals and blood from birds. That's in other words, if there would be blood on the meat, we wouldn't want to eat it anyway, right? If you had any food today, if it had blood on it, you wouldn't eat it anyway. But this, well,
Had blood on fish. You're allowed to eat the blood from fish.
You're allowed to eat the blood from fish?
yeah, you can eat the whole fish. You eat the whole fish. It's only on yeah.
That's why you don't kosher fish.
There's no koshering of it. No. Okay, right. The hainu kishoichlin refuah, like he says, if you're eating it for a refuah, this is not, because otherwise you cannot have blood. Umayim v'simonim. Okay, umayim and water. Okay. Now you have a siman, a yad shochat dam. He tells you yad shochat dam. So if you take the 7, he gives you an acronym so you can remember it. Yad shochat dam will give you the 7 that we just mentioned. Aval shamei peris, but other kinds of liquids, not part of these 7 that we just mentioned. Afilu b'mokin sheregilin laseis mashkim l'shtia mischitas eze peiros ein lahem din mashke le'inyan zeh. So in other words, if you took, let's say, apple juice, you took oranges, you squeezed it onto your thing. That's not on my list. So that wouldn't be a problem. Only what the Mishnah says is whittled down. Now, this was important. This was important in the time of the Beis Hamikdash. So it's nice to even learn this now during the 3 weeks, because now we're not so in touch with Tum and Tahara, and we don't really understand that. So here's how it goes. The klal is Chazal teaches that Yadayim are skaniyos. The hands are always busy. So the hands are called stam yadayim. They're called stam yadayim in halacha. Stam yadayim. They're just hands that weren't washed. Now, because sometimes we scratch parts like we learned, if you scratch a part of your body that's covered, and you use your hand to scratch that part of your body that's covered, now your hands become impure. Now your hands are impure. So now you have to wash your hands to make them pure again, right? So here we go. So if you come in contact with one of these liquids and you're not pure, your hands, you didn't wash your hands, now you touch the food. So you transfer your tumah from your body to the liquid, because these liquids are liquids that qualify to transfer the tumah. So if you had water, oil, right, bee honey, and like the list that we gave, just the list that we gave. If you have any of those things, that qualifies to transfer the stam yadayim tumah onto that food. Now you take that food, put it in your mouth, now you're eating the tumah. You understand? Okay. So again, Al pi halacha today, you don't have to do this, because we don't have the Beis Hamikdash. But again, if you want to be closer to Hashem, it's a beautiful thing to do. But again, you wash your hands, but you do not make the blessing. Okay, you got that? There is no blessing made. And if you can't, just to remember it, remember the Seder Rochza, where we wash our hands, but we don't make the bracha. It's the same idea. Okay, so I'm trying to give you the example to understand that we do this sometime when we want to be a little bit more stringent. Okay, so we want to be more in touch with Hashem. So this is an idea and a good advice on what to do to wash your hands before you touch if you're eating food. Now, even if you'll say, I'm going to eat it with a fork, I'm going to eat it with a spoon, right? That's not going to work, because again, you're transferring your tumah to it either way, whether you're touching it or not. That's what Chazal said. Either whether you're touching it or not, that's how it works. It doesn't matter. So then anytime you can eat a salad, if you go to the sink, wash your hands. If you're just going to have a salad, if you're eating bread, there's no problem. You wash for your bread. Now your hands are clean. No problem. Now eat whatever you need to eat during the Suda. Eat your salad. You could dip your bread into the dips, into olive oil, right, with za'atar, whatever you like to dip your bread into, right? No problem, because you washed your hands. Otherwise, if you do that, you can't do that, because otherwise you're transferring the tumah. We got that? Okay. It's a little bit out there, but again, if you want to see this, learn the Mishnayos in Machshirin, Perik Vav, Mishnah Dalet, then you'll see that where that's the source of where this is coming from. Okay? Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining, and we should all hear Besorah Tovot in Kol Tuv.